Hi, guys. Thank you. All right, save it for the other Josh. I am Josh Horowitz, and today on Happy, Sad, Confused, we're at the 92nd Street Y with Josh Hutcherson, everybody. Ready? Stupid question. You were definitely ready. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. You've sold this wonderful hall here this wonderful hall at the 92nd Street Y. You got the best bargain in town. You got two Joshes for the price of one tonight. This Josh I'm going to bring on stage, I've known for quite a while. He's a slightly better actor than I am. He's a way better actor than I am. Let's be real. He survived not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 nights at Freddy's. He survived the Hunger Games. I don't know how he did that. And now, he's in The Beekeeper. We're going to see if he can survive Mr. Jason Statham. No spoilers, but I don't know, guys. I mean, it's Jason Statham. I am so thrilled to welcome this guy back to the podcast. He's one of my favorites on the planet. Please give a warm welcome to Josh Hutcherson, everybody.
What's up, dude? All right. Hello. What did you just said to me backstage? 2 Joshes go in, 1 comes out. What did you mean exactly?
I'm just saying, if shit goes down, every man for himself.
I got a few people here that might help me out.
I know.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
This is a very bad call.
You want to play that? No.
Welcome
Thank you.
back to the podcast, but welcome, to this awesome live experience. Thank you for doing this, man.
Absolutely.
It's been a while. I've forced you to drink on red carpets. I've asked you every stupid question known to man, and like a needy actor, you just keep coming back for more.
I just love it. I love it when you treat me bad, man. Just it happens. I love it.
All right, just stay tuned. More to
Oh,
come.
Jesus.
No, there's a lot to celebrate tonight. Congratulations on all the success. Before we get to The Beekeeper, so Josh didn't get a chance to talk about his wonderful new phenomenon, 5 Nights at Freddy's. I'm sure you all checked it out. An amazing success.
Thank you.
Because of the SAG strike, of course, understandably so, you weren't able to publicize that one. But what was that experience like? I mean, you were kind of sitting by the sidelines seeing this real phenomenon happen.
It was like a very surreal experience to have a movie that I was really proud of, really excited about coming out, and I didn't do a single interview, didn't even post anything. I couldn't do anything at all for it. So it was very odd after being in this business for 22 years. And it's the first time that no one asked me a question about a massive movie I had coming out.
Just going to Starbucks being like, do you have any questions about
And I was wondering,
Freddy's?
I was obviously we were all in support of the strike and happy that it finally came to a good end. But I was like, what if I posted, whatever you do, don't go see my movie? I was like, no, and I was like, no, that's stupid. But no, it was cool, man. It's I was not really familiar with the game beforehand, and then just when I came on board, the FNAF fan group is just like.
Oh yeah.
Some of you are here, I know, because that's a lot. There's a lot here. It's such a cool coalition of people from all over the world, all races, all ages, all genders, and it's just very cool to be a part of something that connects with that kind of broad audience.
You are, though, correct me if I'm wrong, you are a bit of a gamer, though, over the years. You devoted a bit of your time.
I'm late to the game, but I just discovered Fortnite. Oh. Very late to the game.
Right.
But
you should check out Pac-Man. It's amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you all in on Fortnite right now? Or are you what?
I was telling you backstage, I haven't seen Oppenheimer, Maestro,
this is why.
Past Lives. It might be because of Fortnite. I'm just saying.
Is it impacting any relationships, friendships in your life yet? Are people intervening and saying, Josh?
Next question, please.
Wow.
No, it's not yet. We'll see.
So for 5 nights, did you sneak into a theater? Did you get to experience it with a crowd?
I never experienced it with the crowd. They set up a small private screening for some cast and stuff. But no, it was so I was hyper disengaged from this thing.
Okay.
So my fingers are crossed that we get to do another one. And then that way I can be much more engaged.
Well, how about this? I want to show a clip at least, since you never got to experience this.
Oh, great.
In a micro way, we're going to show a little clip from Five Nights at Freddy's, and then we'll talk a little bit more on the other side and get onto some other cool stuff.
Okay, great.
Here's a clip from Five Nights at Freddy's, guys. Here we go.
Oh.
We're in Josh
Excuse
sync.
me?
Yeah.
Did we just both jazz fingers?
Sometimes you can't help yourself.
That was really hard not to troll myself the entire time, by the way.
Oh, what's over there?
Watch out! What a jerk. Yeah. It occurs to me, between Five Nights at Freddy's and The Hunger Games, you've made 2 ginormous films that involve killing children.
It's kind of my thing, I guess. I don't know.
I don't have a question.
They come to me, man.
Just an observation.
I don't know what it is.
I just lay the facts
You seeing
out
the
there.
theme? Hey.
It's quite a
What's the question behind or statement behind the statement? Or what do you want?
I'm just saying, that must be quite a directive to Team Hutcherson. More child-killing scripts.
They're in the back room. We can have a conversation.
Okay, fair enough. And you do not know the precise future, but obviously making $350 million, this enormous hit, the hope is to get back at it, yes?
That is definitely the hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, too, I think what's so cool is that there's so much of the world of Freddy's to explore. There's so many characters. There's so many iterations of the game. And I think it's challenging, and you know, I think that's maybe where they are now, is like trying to really understand like where the story is going to go, how they want to explore moving forward and stuff like that. But yeah, it's I'm ready to dive back in.
It also occurs to me, so like in this one, you work with, I don't even know what we call them, animatronic, like these Jim Henson-like puppet
They're called
creatures.
actors.
Well, yes. Here's my point.
Okay.
Well, now he's after me.
Yeah. You flip that switch. Oh, okay, here we go.
But you have, in your young career, you've worked with every kind of, like you've done 3D, you've done IMAX, you've done film, you've done digital, I'm sure. Every mocap, performance capture way back when.
Yep.
It's an interesting set of skills to borrow from another action franchise taken. You're like the Liam Neeson of movie stars, is what I'm saying.
Great.
But like, I guess, which of those modes has presented the most challenge to you as an actor?
I mean, I think, you know, anytime that you're doing any kind of performance and you have nothing to interact with and it's all up to you to create, you just feel ridiculous.
Right.
And I think when we were doing Hunger Games, we were shooting one of the, I think it was in Catching Fire, it was the monkey fight sequence.
Right.
We shot that for 2 weeks. It was a half a page in the script. And we had stunt people just wearing like green screen suits. Yeah. And we were like friends with them because we were around them all the time. They like lift it up, like have a cigarette and then put it back on. Right. And then they're like jumping around acting like monkeys and stuff. And you're just like, this is my job.
Yeah. Showbiz.
What have I done wrong or right to end up here? But what's cool about Freddy's is that we had real creatures to interact with and like actual physical things there, which always, brings in, that's one less thing I have to do like mentally to like believe that I'm doing what I'm doing.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, so you have this new film, this crazy Jason Statham movie that's a lot of fun. It is directed by David Ayer. If you guys don't know David Ayer's work, this guy means business. He knows his way around an action movie. It's called The Beekeeper. When this one comes to you, are you like, are you fucking with me, guys? Is this really what the movie is? Like, because it's one of those things where it's like, is it real? Is it like what? Like, but it works, and it works because of David, I think, and because of Jason.
Exactly.
And of course you. But like, tell me, when it was presented to you, what did you make of The Beekeeper?
It's I'm not the actor that people usually think of when they look to find a villain for a movie.
Right.
Known for being like a good guy. So for me, I was like, you sure about that? I was like, me? But it was, for me, it was a real draw to like do something so different. And this character, Derek, is like hyper douchebag, crypto bro, privileged billionaire that sets up this call center that just scams old people out of their life savings.
Right.
Don't be too disappointed. I got to branch out somehow. They kept me in a box for too long, man.
I could be a jerk.
Good luck putting me back in. I'm local. No.
The real Hutcherson, finally.
Yeah, exactly. Now I used to the other side. But it was super fun, man, to dive into something so different. And for David Ayer, who I've like respected and looked up to for a long time, for him to see that potential in me when no one else did.
Well, not to mention you also, I feel like you've like stolen like Nick Cage's wardrobe in this. Like
It's aggressive.
It's like snakeskin kind of
Well,
like.
not only is it snakeskin, it's snakeskin and leopard print at the same time.
Love it.
So this guy is, unhinged. Yeah.
Flashbacks, Hunger Games flashbacks with the hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny because like after Hunger Games, I was like, I'm never gonna bleach my hair again, man. That was like the maintenance on it, and it was terrible. And then like first call with the hair designer, she was like, we're thinking with this Derek looks, we're taking it into this crazy direction. What if we did like bleach tips? Like, yep, I'm in. That sounds great, 100%. So how quickly an actor's like changes when they're like, oh, makes the character more cool? Yeah.
Sure. A little bit of a different character, though. Let's take a little taste. I think this is your introduction in the film, and yeah,
cool.
even his name, you know, this guy's a douchebag.
Oh, yeah.
Derek Danforth.
Derek Danforth.
A lot of
Derek Danforth. Yeah.
That's what it goes with. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a little sneak peek of Josh in The Beekeeper. Check it out.
That's the tip of the iceberg.
I was gonna say that's cool.
That's
Derek.
mild.
Yeah.
That's like him at his best.
Right.
He spirals.
It's interesting because like I think of Air, I think of Statham, very alpha male kind of like a lot of testosterone. That's obviously you too.
I reek of that.
I don't know, like growing up, did you have mostly male friends, female friends? Like what were your friend groups or even to this day?
You're assuming that I had friends.
Okay, sorry.
They were all in here, bud. No.
Right.
I don't know, man. This and this, there's nothing between the two.
I know, I love it. It's great.
Question was about friendship. Engage, answer.
Oh my God, you're
I
actual
grew up
robot.
on sets, so like
Right.
my friends were mostly, grips and cameramen and stunt teams and hair and makeup people. So I think it was a really cool experience growing up, is I didn't have many friends my own age. They were normally 15 at least years older than me. So I grew up fast, but it's also I got to see a lot of different types of people because this industry attracts people from all over the place, from different walks of life, and I think that I'm super grateful that I got the life experience as a young kid to grow up around quasi like-minded artists from so many different walks of life, and that's a very cool experience, I think, for me.
Did you ever go through your Derek Danforth like phase? Were you ever kind of a jerk? You think? Like, if I asked your mom, what was the age at which Josh was kind of like, okay, we have to have a talk?
I mean, okay, she would say 16. And I think that when I was like 16, I was going through a moment of, at that point, I'd been a professional working actor for 7 years and was kind of like having this existential crisis of like, what do I want my life to be, and lashing out and being rebellious and things like that. But it was very contained.
Okay.
Short period of time.
There's never been a case where you've actually uttered the words, do you know who I am?
No.
Okay, good. I didn't think so. Just checking.
No, never. Actually, sometimes my friends will be like, want to get a reservation at this place? Like,
Yeah.
maybe we can. I'm like, no. We're not doing that. They're like, okay, I get it. They're like, what if we called? And we said, like, we're trying to make a reservation for you. I'm like, dude, that just sucks, man.
Right.
That just sucks. Let's just get takeout. Like, I don't want to.
Not worth it.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good.
So I was lucky enough to be on the periphery of the ride that was the Hunger Games with you guys, and we got to know each other through those amazing years. It's so funny to me. I don't know what your perspective is on this. There's like so much nostalgia now for the Hunger Games as if it happened 30 years ago. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't not that long ago.
I guess. Does it feel like a long time ago at this point?
It's weird. I know, like recently, when I was seeing all the billboards for the new movie coming out, I kept panicking in a way, feeling like I should be at a press junket,
Right.
or that I should be promoting this movie somehow. So that was weird. But no, it's a weird feeling because on one hand, it feels like another lifetime ago, but it also just feels like yesterday at the same time. So it's hard to really place it. But it was like more than 10 years ago, the first one.
I mean, does it feel like
I shot the first one 13 years ago.
It's crazy.
Like, that's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember at this point the initial audition? Was there a chemistry test with Jen?
Yeah.
What do you remember from it?
Yeah. I remember it was funny actually because this was like a month after I had auditioned for Spider-Man
Right.
and didn't get Spider-Man. And then I ended up being PETA. So I was like, oh, this works out. I'm down. But yeah, it was crazy because I'd done like the first round of auditions and then like you'd never hear anything back. So I assumed, okay, I didn't get that, like on to the next. And then they called and they said, hey, we're gonna do like a chemistry read. I had a few actors and I went and met with Jen. And I'd actually met Jen when I was doing press for The Kids Are All Right, and she was doing press for Winter's Bone.
Yep.
And I was sitting there at the table at like the SAG Awards, and she came up to me, and I hadn't met her, but I had like known about her, and she was like, Josh, hi, I'm Jen. I was like, hi, friend. Hi, how are you? And she basically told me the story that she saw, because she's from Kentucky as well,
Right.
and she saw in a newspaper that like local actor kid from Kentucky, it makes it big in Hollywood. And so she like...
Again, it wasn't that long ago, Josh. This just in. Josh Hutcherson isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, she saw that and she took that to her parents. Were like, look, this kid made it. So she told me that, and I mean, we hit it off right away, and the rest is ancient history.
Does Joshifer live in some capacity to this day?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we talk all the time, and she's got like a whole family, and like she's living a whole life, and you know, it's hard to get us all back together, but we try to see each other from time to time, and we stay in touch with the phones.
If you texted her right now, how long would it take her to respond to you?
I would say probably like, it could be between like a minute and 3 days.
Okay.
Which is also kind of how I respond to almost everybody.
Right.
When they text me, depending on if it's like my mom or
Right.
like my best friend, so.
You want to take out your phone? You want to try it?
I don't have my phone on stage. I'm professional. What's this? What's this?
I don't have her number. She totally iced me out.
That's for the best. That's for the best.
Let's take a look back at the wonderful saga that was The Hunger Games. This is a scene.
Oh man.
This is a scene from Catching Fire. You and Jennifer. Okay.
All right.
How do you feel?
It's got warmer. It's wild, man. It's funny, like I don't see that ever. Like I saw the movie once, like at the premiere. Like I've never rewatched any of it, so it's always funny when things like come up and I sound different, I look different. So that makes you realize it was 13 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Does that go for all your work or specific to those films? Like if it comes on TV, flip the channel as quickly as possible?
Anything.
Yeah.
I don't like hearing my own voice back. I don't like, my job is like being on screen for like millions of people to watch and listen to, and I never want to watch it. Like I love to make movies and do the work and hope people enjoy them, but to rewatch it, it's just like, you just see all the things that you wish you did differently and you know, wish you could change and everything. But I mean, for me, seeing anything from The Hunger Games, it's just like, that time was incredible. And like working with that cast, that moment, those filmmakers, it was the best, man. And I miss it. Yeah.
So what's the most meaningful thing related to acting and totally unrelated to acting that you got out of that experience? Because like there is the acting portion of like working with like an amazing array of talent and great filmmakers. And then there's the whole apparatus that is very unique.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, just over the course of the years, anytime that you get to work with actors like Jen or Philip Seymour Hoffman, Julianne Moore, like the cast in this is like insane. You hope that some of that rubs off on you in some way. Whether that's just their general vibe on set, or Jen, for example, has a really specific style where she'll be completely wacky, out of her mind, like a loose cannon, and then they say action, and it just instantly snaps into hyper focus. Right. And like part of that looseness allows it to then like slap into like a very specific thing.
Yeah, Frances told me recently that some actors actually almost like it bothered them that she was so good at that. She could just turn it on and off.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think for me, I definitely enjoyed it because I'm very much like her in that way. But I can see somebody who's like trying to actually work.
Stay in it, yeah.
Somebody's like trying to take something seriously.
Right.
Might be hard for them. So that on the acting front, I think. And then like personally, I think just that whole experience, me, Jen, and Liam specifically, that trio of just the rocket ship that was, and the press tours and the attention and the fame and everything was just, it's a lot. And we were young. I was 18 when we made the first one.
Yeah.
And just all that happening to you in such a massive way, having that camaraderie and that real like family feeling that you create, that's something that's super special. And just learning how to like lean on others when you're going through something that's crazy because they have a similar experience.
So, you know, there is an elephant in the room we need to discuss. The internet and Josh Hutcherson right now.
Yeah.
First of all, let's just get our bearings. On a scale of 1 to 10, how plugged in are you to social media?
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
You have one of these?
1 to 10? It's one of them tablets, huh?
Yeah. It's the devil's toy.
I'm very unplugged in that world. I look at Instagram from time to time to like see dog videos and like recipes that I save and will never ever make.
Right.
That's like my life. So in this, I won't jump the gun. Go ahead.
Okay, well, how about this?
Okay.
I'm gonna just play a little audio piece. And tell me how it makes you feel. Can we play this?
That's like when they do that at a club and you're like, I'm leaving. Or the drop's about to happen and then they're like, get out. You're like, I was on my way.
So how would you characterize your relationship to Flo Rida and Whistle?
Newly found.
Right.
This was happening, I guess, and I genuinely had no idea. And then my friend Erica sent me she's like, I never send you anything about yourself. And I'm like, oh God.
What did I do?
What is this guy? I know.
Yeah.
And she sent me, it was a link to a TikTok from like the official Democrats TikTok.
Right.
And it was Joe Biden
Yep.
drinking a coffee cup. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then he turns it.
There it is.
And then my face pops up with some random ass pictures from like 2014.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's odd. And then I was like, oh, okay, whatever. That's cool. So weird. And then my brother and his boyfriend like sat me down over like the Christmas break. I'm turning to Paul Giamatti from The Holdovers right now. They sat me down. What did I pick? Anyways, they sat me down and they were like, okay, we need to just walk you through some things.
You need to be aware of what's happening in the world.
They're like, it's fine. You can choose to live in a little bubble under a rock if you want, but
an annoying journalist may play this music for you at some point.
You might want to know. Exactly, yeah. And they ran me through. And it's crazy, man. It's like a Rickroll.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Rickrolling?
Sure.
Some do. Okay, I wasn't sure like how relevant that was. I don't know. I'm so lost.
It's okay.
I'm so lost, man.
It's gonna be okay. You should bring back also the pose. Yeah.
Blow my whistle, baby. Okay.
No. No, you need to bring the pose back. You need to like
pose?
That's you in the video.
What do you mean?
You're like doing this during, isn't it? In the video for the.
I'm just doing this.
Do you see that?
Oh dear God. What does that look?
You tell me.
I think I was attempting to smize.
Right. Oh, you were smizing. Okay.
I don't have it anymore. I lost it.
You lost it.
Yeah.
It's his blue steel. It's
yeah,
his.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's not only that. It's the memes. It's everything. You alluded to a little bit of the Joe Biden one.
Yeah.
Let's just run through a couple things I saw on the internet. So people. People love It Weren't for the Baby. They love that. They love that.
Don't get it.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Let's see. Peter was being hunted down for sport and still found time to eat cat as a gift. Back real men. That's great.
What do you think?
That's great.
And we have one more. I mean, that's a valid question. How did you do that?
Dude, this is a whole thing, man. Like, the dude's a baker.
Right.
And he's like fighting for, how did he have the time, the tools? I remember we were shooting this in North Carolina. We were shooting it like in the mountains, like outside of Asheville. And there was like this rock, like a crevice kind of thing with like what seemed like an infinite black hole that leads back into what I'm sure was just full of millions of snakes. And they had snake wranglers on set, and they're like, yeah, we think it's good. Like, so I just like lay there, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh. Right. So I laid there, and for 45 minutes, they did all this makeup thing around me. I had no idea what I looked like. Just laying there waiting, and I'm like, hi, surprise! And it's like, and I felt like it reminded me of like in Zoolander, when he's got like the like, he's like in the coal mine, and he's like, boom. And I was like, after I saw it, I was like, I'm not sure that's what people had in mind when they read
It's haunting.
the book.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot.
you know, we did it.
You did it.
We did it.
Success.
Gosh
we can take that
darn
off
it.
the screen. Thank you. Thank you.
Or leave it there forever.
Yeah, yeah. We can definitely remove that. Please. Please.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thank you. That's all the memes you've been subjected to. You okay? You okay? You feel all right?
Okay.
You sweating
I'm
a
okay.
little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I live off that. I would just, and not because of me or anything, but I would just go into rabbit holes. No. I would get hooked on some kind of weird thread, and I'd find myself on some.
Yeah, don't go on Reddit with your name. Yeah. I'm sure there's horrible, strange things there.
Josh, what's there?
I run the Josh Hutcherson Reddit board. You don't want to know.
I knew it.
We talked a little bit about auditioning. You mentioned the Spider-Man audition. I'm like curious, like you've been auditioning since you were what, like 8 years old. Does that make it any easier? You faced success and rejection like all your life.
Yeah.
So being the 65-year-old man you are today, is it easier in a way because you've had that experience, or is it still tough walking into an audition at this point in your life?
It's still tough. I mean, it's very tough. If anything, it might even be tougher now. Because it feels like after like 22 years, man, I'm still like getting rejected left and right. Like it's exhausting, but that's like part of, you know, an actor's whole life is the rejection. And it is hard. And it's crazy too, because for me, like when you audition, you have to like, for me personally, I put like myself fully into it as if I'm gonna be getting this job. I pour myself into it, I study the hell out of it, I really focus, and you give a lot of yourself when you act. And like 99% of the time, they don't even respond. You just like, it goes out into the ether, you never hear back, you're like, oh. And you read it in the trades that somebody else got the part. Right. And so it's like, it's a weird thing. We have to like go all in and do it, but as soon as you do it, just forget about it and look forward to the next thing.
Is there one that still haunts you to this day? It sounds like Spider-Man was actually a good experience. Like,
yeah.
Right? That's not a negative
No,
experience.
not at all. No, I mean, what like 18-year-old boy doesn't want to be like Spider-Man? I mean, that would have been pretty cool.
To make the top 3 or 5 of Spider-Man, that's an accomplishment.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. But obviously, PETA was a good come up. Yeah. You know, I think like the first time that I really remember feeling rejection in that way as an actor, but many other forms beforehand in life. But I auditioned for, I think I was like 9 or 10. I auditioned for one of the new Home Alones, like a Home Alone remake. And it was like between me and one other kid, which is so brutal to tell like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Hey kid, I'll do that voice again.
Yeah, there it is.
Just saying you and one other guy, all right? What do you say you do a little dance?
You've cornered the market on old-timey man.
Yeah,
You're
exactly,
so good.
Yeah. And when I didn't get that, it was like crushing, and like that was like the first time I remembered feeling that feeling of disappointment.
So at this point, I mean, you know, the Beekeeper is a legitimate stretch. It's like cool to see you in kind of like a different kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, can you pursue that kind of a thing, or are you kind of like at the whim of what people bring to you? Like, can you secret out into the universe what you want, or do you not even know what you want? Like, I mean,
I don't really know what I want is the thing. Like, I'm super open. I just, right now I'm in love with working and being on set, and it's like my home in so many ways. And getting to do something like The Beekeeper was super new to me, and it was a stretch, which I really enjoyed. And it was super freeing to do something so different in a way. Yeah. So I think for me, like, you can try to put things out there into the universe and try to, like, will something to happen, but in this job, it's like just not up to you. And it's interesting because I've directed a couple music videos and a short film, and like being on the other side of the camera, looking at audition tapes and trying to find actors, it really helped me as an actor to not take it like as personal when I didn't get cast. Because you can watch like a bunch of tapes, like they're, oh, these are all great actors. It's not about who is the better actor. It's like looking at the entire project of like how this person feels, what their look is, how like they would match to this other person, and kind of like trying to find that balance in a script as a director. So I get it, man. You know.
Are you any closer? I know you've wanted to direct for a while, and you directed a short. We talked about that once. Is that still the one you want to expand into a feature? Is there still an eye on
No,
that?
that one's kind of my taste has changed a bit since then. But I'm pursuing it. It's not something I'm like I need to do like right this moment. And I have so much respect for directors and the job that is and everything. I feel like I still have things to learn before I really take on a full feature.
I know we were talking backstage. You're a little behind on your film, but is there a last TV show you were obsessed with? Anything come to mind? What's on the list?
I just rewatched Sex and the City. Yeah. It's fantastic. It's great. Ahead of its time. Groundbreaking.
Are you a Carrie or are you a Miranda or Samantha? You're Samantha, obviously.
Is Samantha? Wait, which one?
Isn't Samantha Kim? Kim Cattrall? Do I have that right?
Kim?
Yeah, Kim Cattrall. Yeah.
I think I'm more of Miranda. She has the baby?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I totally connect with her. And it's funny because Kim and Cynthia Nixon both played my moms. Cynthia Nixon in Little Manhattan and Kim in Journey to the Mysterious Island. I was like, where have all the journey
Where
to?
were we going
I journeyed to many places. I was like, was it Brendan Fraser or The Rock? Which one was that?
You are moving through the Fast and the Furious cast. You know that.
It is true.
Is this like a secret way of getting yourself into those? Oh.
No. No, I thought you were saying secret way of me getting like through all the cast members.
Oh, I see.
No. It's just a coincidence.
What's your favorite franchise going? Is there a franchise that jumps out at you that piques your interest right now? And the answer can be no. It's okay.
I want there to be one.
Well, we all do in this room.
Man, I'm trying to. No.
Okay.
There's not. I live under a rock. I just stare at walls and play Fortnite. I'm not more interesting than this.
And you obsess over your dogs.
And I obsess over my dogs.
So, how does that manifest? Are you dressing them up? Are you?
No, they're naked.
Right.
If they're in the house, collars off.
Nudist. Everybody in that house.
Yeah.
Take off
exactly,
your clothes.
Exactly. Yeah. I run a nudist colony for dogs in my home. It manifests itself in just like they are like the joy of my life. Yeah. And oh my God, just like you have a
we have a
pit.
Pit. I have a pit
too.
mix, and we should do a PSA for pits because they're the best dogs on the planet.
They're amazing.
Sweetest.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they are. They are.
No, it manifests itself in just like exploding my heart with love and like just wanting to do everything to make their lives the best that they could ever be.
100%. Yeah. All right, so let's do some profoundly random questions from the Happy, Sad, Confused questionnaire. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What do you collect?
What do I collect?
Yeah. You sound, well, it's not that crazy a
Collect?
question.
I don't even have a favorite franchise. You're asking about collections?
I'm sorry, we want to know the real you. Damn
I
it.
collect houseplants.
Huh.
But they don't last long. They're just like it's like a graveyard of houseplants.
Is it that hard to take care of apparently, yeah. Okay.
Too much sun, too much water, not enough. It's like
Right.
dogs I got down pat, but houseplants?
Right.
God.
Worrisome. What's the wallpaper on your phone?
My wallpaper on my phone, it's like this weird drawing that I did like 12 years ago, and I just put it as the background. It never changed, but it looks like a broken phone screen, kind of. Oh. So people always think like, "Yo, okay." Oh, it's not. Okay,
art.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, art. Oh. Nice.
Last actor you were mistaken for.
Last actor I was mistaken for. Oh wait, this kind of happened not long ago too. People like sometimes. Well, I can't think of an actor I've been mistaken for. People all the time will be like, where did you go to high school?
Right.
I'm like, trick question, I didn't. Where did you grow up? I was like, Kentucky? They're like, that's not it.
Nope.
Do you know Sharon? Like, maybe. They can't, like,
right.
They know me from somewhere. And I'm like, what do I do? Be like, well, I'm a famous actor, so maybe it's...
Perhaps
you might have seen such films as...
have you ever journeyed to a mysterious island?
Yeah, or to the center of the earth.
Is there a movie you're embarrassed to admit you've never seen?
Oh, there's many. There's many.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new Hunger Games yet. And that's what, oh, and they all gasp.
Get out!
Yeah, out. The door's over there. No, I'm really excited to see it. The world is amazing, and Francis Lawrence directed it, obviously, and it looks great. I haven't seen Oppenheimer.
Right.
I haven't seen this. It's like, man.
I mean, they talk all about PETA in the
Fortnite,
film,
what?
of course. They talk, they're like, one day this guy will come. He's a baker, he does camouflage. It's all about you, buddy.
Really? So there's a chance?
Don't Nobody tell him. What's the most annoying thing about you, if I asked your friends and family? What would they say? He's a great guy, of course, but if he could just...
respond to text messages. Oh. I'm just like, again, living under a rock. I don't know, man. I have a hard time like just allowing myself to accept that technology is real. Right. I don't know why.
It's a good thing in the end.
It's like a yearning for yesteryear, like the old, you know. No, I'm not going there. I'm not
old-timey guy.
Yeah, old-timey guy's coming out. No, I think, I don't know. We don't have to go into a whole like, you know, through my therapist.
Yeah, we do.
Right. Well, hey man. No, I think there's like a feeling of a fear of us losing the human connection. Yeah. Even though technology can also like enhance that in many ways, that I think that I just get like very stiff-armed to like technology in general.
You're wise. As much as I'm making fun, you're wise. What's the worst note a director has ever given you?
Worst note?
Yeah.
Worst. So actually, David Ayer in The Beekeeper, he gave me two of my like, favorite directions back to back. One, we were doing the final like finale of the movie. It's this really intense, like 13-minute long scene, and like he wouldn't cut. He just like reset and back to one, and I'm like screaming, and like we're doing one, I'm like crying, one, I'm like punching things, like just out of my mind. And he came up to me one time and he goes, "Hey, tell your mom about the machine elves." I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" He's like, "You don't know about the machine elves?" I was like, "I have no idea." He's like, "Well, like, I've heard that when you ingest DMT, you go into this other dimension, and there are these machine elves that mock you and laugh at you, and you come back, you're like, oh, that was fun. So tell your mom about that in this scene." I'm like, okay. So I like a whole riff about machine elves, and then the next day he goes, "Okay, now this one, kick him off the stage."
Abort. No more old-timey voice, please.
And then literally the next time he reset, he comes up and he goes, "Just remember that all of us just want to be loved, and we can only ask for that with the tools that we're given." I'm like,
wow.
Oh. Okay, let's roll, let's go. So it's just like this kind of crazy like
swerve.
Yeah, really, but it was really fun, and that was so not the worst. That was actually the best, but just like it's hard to really kind of know what to do with that. Yeah.
In the spirit of happy, sad, confused, who's an actor that always makes you happy? See them on screen, you can have a good time.
I would say probably would be, name an actor for me, please. No. I don't know any actors.
We will all wait together in silence.
Say, always makes me happy to see on screen. Hugh Grant.
That's a good one. Yeah,
oh, no.
We got there.
He's in my head freshly because I just watched Notting Hill for the first time like a few weeks ago. It's so good. It's like so charming.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a movie that always makes you sad? You a crier at the movies?
No, were you?
No.
What have I feel like not long ago I have bad memory as well, as you can probably
it's alarming.
catch on to. Yeah, I know. Gotta talk to my neurologist about it. Honestly, Bridget Terabithia is pretty sad. It's a pretty sad one. I have a lot of people that come up to me and tell me like, "You messed me up." That movie, like, really, that was hard.
Yeah.
I think on a plane, we're all more,
yeah,
susceptible to tears, and I've definitely shed a few on planes. I've been like, this is embarrassing.
What's a food that makes you confused? You see it on the menu, I don't get it. What's up with that?
White pizza.
Oh, no tomato. It's not pizza. If there's
cheese bread.
Right, cheese bread. I mean, to be fair, cheese and bread are two of the best things on the planet.
Yes, and that's totally fine. But let's just not call it pizza.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it might even just be more like slight rage as opposed to confused.
Right.
It's like, white pizza, okay. What are you doing here in the pizza section?
It's funny that you give off this reputation, Mr. Nice Guy, but underneath it's all this psychotic, making the movies about killing kids, angry about white pizza.
You know, and now they've given me, like, they've opened Pandora's box with letting me play Derek. So it's really got a whole bunch more crazy guys come out of me.
I love it. Okay, some questions from our wonderful audience here. Lauren would like to know, do you have a favorite memory or piece of advice someone gave you early in your career that you still use now?
Yeah, I did the Polar Express. That was one of my earlier things. Still, somehow people know it. 22 years? No. Stop it, Josh. Focus.
Don't make me play Whistle again.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. I behave. When I worked with Tom Hanks on that,
Yep.
he said that he always believed that fame, success doesn't necessarily change someone, it magnifies who they are. And so I always hoped that if I ever got it magnified, that it would be a good thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So just kind of like knowing that it doesn't, you are who you are inside, and when all that exterior thing, all that happens, you can still be yourself and just like be even more open and loving.
The purest expression of who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Emma would like to know any tips for new Spanish learners.
New Spanish learners.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't study Spanish at all. It was just like immersion. So if there's any way you can immerse yourself in just only being around people speaking Spanish, that was the best way for me. But like a lot of people that I know use Duolingo, and they learn something. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any dream directors you want to work with, and why is it Greta Gerwig?
That's funny. Greta's amazing. Wow. I'd love to work with Greta.
Pointed.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, the reason why it's Greta is no. I'd love to work with Greta. I think there's a lot, man. I love Sofia Coppola is one of my favorites. I think like just her approach to like the subtleties of like human complexity and the way she lets the actors like breathe and be in moments is really cool. But then I'm a big David Fincher fan of like Fight Club was such a seminal movie for me when I saw it when I was 10 years old. Yeah, those are probably two that are pretty high up on the list. But there's also I'm really excited now for like the new wave of young up and coming filmmakers and also like international directors and stuff. You see a lot of really interesting voices coming out of foreign countries as well that I'm really excited to get into somehow.
I know you're behind, but have you seen the new Fincher yet, The Killer?
I have not seen The Killer.
It's amazing.
Yeah? Okay,
if you're a
I gotta
Fincher
see
guy,
it.
you're going to love it.
Okay.
When I interviewed Francis Lawrence recently, and he was saying that you really enjoyed doing the stunts and the action in those films. Is that something, because like you get a little bit in Beekeeper, but Statham steals it all. Steals all that great action. Yeah. But like, is that something on the list that would be cool to do a little more physical?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I played a ton of team sports, baseball and soccer and basketball and everything. And then when I started acting, that wasn't really an option. Just like schedule-wise, I couldn't be on teams and stuff. So I always viewed stunts as like my athletic outlet. So I love that. I love fight choreography. I've done a lot of weapons training and stuff like that. So I'm not Jason Statham, but I can run. That's how you punch, right?
Yeah, that's it. You asking me?
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm not sure what. I feel like I'm missing something here. Olivia wants to know bees. Am I missing? What's the bees reference?
They are.
Because
Bees are. They exist.
Okay. Where are you? Do you have a fear of bees?
Fear of bees? No. I like bees.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Wasps and hornets, however, yellow jackets.
Yeah.
Well, because also those things that don't help us. Like bees are like we want to. Obviously they do a lot of important work, but the other ones they just like come at you.
Yeah.
They're not pollinators.
Right. Felicia wants to know if you could pick any Freddy's animatronic to be, who would you be and why? This is the kind of question you missed on the press tour.
I know, right? Exciting. Who would I be? I mean, I like Bonnie has the guitar, right? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Bonnie. Because she has a guitar.
Right. I'm following.
Yeah.
So
you can see they also didn't give me any like press
no
training
talking
for
points,
this movie.
nothing.
If I don't have talking points, like I'm a liability. Like it is not.
Were they able, speaking of, like, did you have a lot of that on Hunger Games? Did they give you, were they able to tame you guys? Like,
Oh, I mean, they tried.
I was going to say, it
They
didn't
tried
feel
to
like
keep
Jen
us-
was very tamed by whatever people were asking.
Yeah, she's untamable in the best way. It's not, they're like talking points where like, don't talk about kids killing kids. And I was always like, well, so here's the problem with that, is that that's kind of what is like a big part of this. But they definitely like, they weren't like hardcore like, because you hear stories or like, maybe it's like one of those Mandela effect where you think something's a thing, but it's not. But the idea of like, people are like super trained on like what they need to say and can't say. I've never experienced that.
Right.
Just like tried not to talk about kids killing each other in the Hunger Games.
Right, okay.
Okay.
12 years later, we're able to do it, finally.
Exactly.
Okay.
Can't stop me now.
I think Natalie has another question. Natalie, if you could remake and star in any cult classic movie, which one and why? Does anything jump to mind?
Yeah, I would say Donnie Darko. Oh. Yeah, that movie, like, it was really impactful for me of like wanting to explore kind of like the darker side of like films and characters and the idea of like mixing like dreams and reality and like understanding like, what it means to exist and things like that. I love that movie and Gyllenhaal's like, I mean, I wouldn't do it as well as obviously he does. I would play Seth Rogen's character in it. You know Seth Rogen's, that's his first movie.
Yeah. Donnie Darko.
I don't know why I didn't think you'd know that, but
No, Donnie
can't get anything over on you, man.
Donnie Darko, Fight Club, and then you're like in Little Manhattan. Are you like, this is, come on, like, I need the edgy stuff. This is edgy enough for me.
Well, it's funny when I was like, when I was 8 years old, I was still in elementary school, before I stopped doing school and started acting. And we were doing a play for Grandparents' Day, and it was like a musical thing. And they wanted us to sing these songs, and it was like, I think it was Grease or something. And I was refusing to do it at 8 years old, before I was even an actor. And they were like, why won't you sing the song? And I'm like, it's cheesy. It's cheesy. It's too cheesy.
Right.
And they were like, okay, just go on stage and like mouth watermelon. And it looked like you're singing. I was like, all right, I'll do that. So I watermelon the whole time. And afterwards, my grandma comes up and she goes, were you saying watermelon the whole time? Because of course, grandma was just like laser focused on her grandkid. So I've always had that like.
Right. Subversive kind of. Yeah. Anti-authoritarian.
Yeah.
Rachel from Kentucky
Hey.
wants to know, do you still have your yo-yo skills from the set of Journey to the Center of the Earth?
Ooh. Haven't picked up a yo-yo since that time in Cabo. No, it's been a while since I've done this. I don't know. I haven't tried it in a long time.
Okay.
But that feels like the kind of toy that I would enjoy.
Sure.
Good old classic yo-yo.
Yeah.
Just a string and a rolly thing.
How would that go, my friend?
That'd be fantastic.
This just in, the new toy is hitting the market. It's called the yo-yo.
You know, the cat's cradle. Oh, boy.
We're really not good for each other, are we? No.
They knew.
Yeah, they knew. You guys knew what they were getting into,
themselves
right? Congratulations on all the success. It's been too long. Five Nights at Freddy's. Hopefully, we're going to get that. We'll take your time. We want a good sequel, so we'll take a moment, and hopefully, we'll see more of that. You guys should check out The Beekeeper. David Ayer knows action. It's got a darkly comic bent. Statham knows what he's doing. This guy, who knew, can play an asshole. Amazing. Fantastic.
Little old me.
Can we listen to Flo Rida one more time before we go? Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Hutcherson, everybody.
Thank you. Alrighty.
Thank you, guys. See ya.